Hey, happy day. 683, right? Yep, 683 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom at your service. Uh, Thinking about events today. Working with a group yesterday and last night on an event. They want to do an event. We're creating a webinar, and they're using the webinar to launch an event. They want to do an event. And I think I've got them convinced to do a virtual event first and then move it to a live event. I just think they're not ready yet. There's systems and their processes, and I think they can test things online quicker and easier and faster than jumping to trying to get people to attend a live training, a live event. So that's got me thinking about events today. And I've done some huge events. I've planned some huge events, and you know how we're looking at something and we're doing something and we're thinking, I don't know how to do that. Well, actually, if we go back in our memory banks and we look at our experiences, chances are the thing that we're trying to do or we're looking at doing, just like an event, is something that we've done a lot of before. I had a big wedding. I planned huge work parties for corporate America, mainly because in some of my jobs I was the only woman, and so of course it's the woman's job to plan the parties and plan the family. We had big annual family days where we could bring our families to work, and we would it's kind of like the company picnic, but we'd do tours, and we would have events and games and parties and launch parties and things for families. So I planned a lot of those things, a lot of those big events and launches. And so it's no different in the online world than it is in the offline world, except you can get a bit more creative, and it's a lot less expensive, and it's a lot quicker and easier to do once you get the technology mastered. And the technology isn't very complicated nowadays. You can actually find free resources to do events on. I did an entire women's summit earlier this year with 30 different women, and it was all virtual and all online. It was amazing. But I was dreading it. I thought it was going to be so hard, and it turns out it was hard. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be as far as the technology went for it. And so, events. Wondering, how do you feel about events? Do you go to physically travel and go to events? I just got back from the gym boat, so obviously I go to events. I love events. I love the value of events. I also am very picky about the events that I go to, for personal reasons now, and for health, not for health reasons, but for actually visually being able to see reasons. I am very picky about what I do and do not attend, or what I will or will not go to. And maybe as I surround myself with different people and have a little entourage or team of people helping me, that won't be such a big deal. It'll be easier. But for right now, travel is one of my challenges. Traveling is something that I'm still figuring out. I guess we all face challenges. We all have challenges in our life. And for me personally, it is my vision. And so I'm navigating this. It's a challenge for me to navigate, and I'll figure it out. Because I always do. We always figure everything out we need to figure out. But anyway, events. Love events. Love attending events. I'm learning about virtual events. To me, online webinars, online trainings, they're virtual events. And how do we get people to our virtual events? Similar to how we get people to our offline events. A little bit of differences, but for the most part, human beings are human beings, and how they interact is how they choose to interact both off and online. Although it's kind of like email. People are meaner online than they would ever be in person. At least that's been my observation. So thinking a lot about events today, and thinking as I'm creating this one for this particular team and group, I want to do my own little event. I don't know, I had originally thought I would do 4 women's summits, and now I don't know. I'm finding that, and this is a painful confession for me, but I'm finding that most of the people I interact with, most of the people that I work with are not women. I love women, and I thought that this would be a great opportunity for me this year to build a team of women and work with more women. And I am working with some, but for the most part, I'm working with them as peers and as co-workers and doing projects together. They're not my clients. All my clients are men. All my clients have been men my entire life, and maybe that is because my whole career has been in male-dominated industries, and so I just am more comfortable being direct. And I gotta say, there's a lot of women that don't want you to be direct. They want you to be their friend. They want you to hold their hand. They want you to nurture them. They want you to baby them and coddle them and support them through, I'm going to say this out loud, and I hate that I'm saying it, support them through their complaining and their whining. And we all need to complain and whine sometimes, but we also have to learn to let go and get over that more quickly. And not to generalize, but okay, some of us, I whine and complain and hang on to things forever, and that's why I know that women, we do that. We hang on to things that we should have long since let go of. And we get in our own way more than we need to. Oh, alarm time. I am really slow today. So I'm struggling with that. I'm like, am I really here to work with more women and help more women? I really want to, but I also want them to want to be helped. I want to work with people that want to change their life and make their life better and improve and grow and make the world a better place. So we'll see. I haven't 100% decided that I'm just going to go with a different direction or a different flow, because I don't want to. I think there's so many of us that need help. We need one another, but we need one another in a way that is more direct and does get us more results. I've always been a process, straight line, direct, straight shooter, and even in corporate America, a lot of men couldn't handle that. So I get it. I get why people relate to different things. People need different approaches, and so I'm looking for people that like the direct approach. Totally getting off topic on this. So working on that. Today's BP challenge was all about environment and our environment and how that impacts our ability to achieve the goals and objectives that we want, and how we get to create and set up our environment. It might not be perfect now, but we can always be improving it. Again, improving our environment a teeny bit every day. Pretty soon we're in the perfect environment for us. And again, that's going to be different for each of us. The environment I love to work in, a lot of people would think is absolute chaos and could not possibly stand it. It's based on our personality. It's based on our preferences. It's based on our past experiences and what feels right to us. I do a lot of work with a 4-year-old in tow, and people are like, "Really? You're coaching me with your granddaughter there?" I'm like, "Yes." And so if that's a problem for you, then you're not going to work with me. And that's one of the perks of being yourself. Is this is me. This is how I work. This is how I operate. And yep, sometimes there's going to be a 4-year-old in tow. And that's just the way it is. And if that doesn't work for you, then I guess I don't work for you. We won't be in a relationship. And so we create the environment that works for us. And right now, I know that she's going to kindergarten next year and all-day school. And so this is my only opportunity to spend time with an amazing little human being. And I don't want to miss that. So BP challenge, environment. Playing both ends against the other with Supersize Your Business today. Really good one, because when you start thinking about some of these expressions, you realize how much experience you actually have with it. I have lots of experience of people or being played, being one of those two people that people pit against each other so that they can win. In relationships, love relationships, I was in more than one of those. Corporate America, department heads, oh my God, politics, corporate politics, regular politics, we see this every day. Vendors, okay, I might have been guilty of this, using my vendors by getting bids and competitive bids and finding the best prices and the best situation for my businesses. Shopping around is an example of often, if you bring the competitors, if they honor the competitors' coupons, you're using the coupons and you're using the two different competitors to get the best prices for you. I say win. They're still making profits, right? So everybody's winning in that scenario. Of course, I don't believe in that philosophy. It's a race to the bottom on the price game, but I'm not going to play that. Social media, we see it all the time. I haven't really been the brunt of that very much because I choose not to participate. Same with family politics. There's politics and competitions with our families. I have used contests to get more participation from my customer base, from my customers, and to get them buying more, participating more, engaging more in social media. We do contests, and we use competition and ranking systems, especially in things like affiliate marketing and online. You'll see contests, sales contests within your organization, where you get your salespeople competing against one another for prizes and rewards. Lots of different ways to that if you think about it, you've been involved in scenarios where you've either played couple people against each other and benefited, or you've had it done to you. I will admit, my kids were magnificent at this, playing my ex-husband and I against each other. They would ask Dad, and if he said no, well, then they'd ask Mom. Okay, what kid doesn't do that? I guarantee I did that to my parents growing up. Mom, I want to do this. She would say no. Dad, I want to do this. He would say yes. And then they would find out that we hadn't, if they didn't have a chance to talk to each other, kids are masters at that, making sure they don't get a chance to talk to each other before we get what we want. We get the permission that we wanted to get. Can I borrow the car? No. Your sister asked. Well, and then we'd pit our sisters against each other so that they would get in a fight and they wouldn't get the car or whatever. There's always those games that go on in families. And usually the reason we pit other people against each other is for our ego, for our advantage, for our financial gain, for our popularity. I mean, think of all the high school movies that have, you know, the mean girls, or the girl that pits two people against each other so that they can be more popular, they can win favor, they can win the high school quarterback, whatever it is. So that's it. Working with some teams, rounding up the projects for the end of the year, thinking I am going to launch my own little small event, probably about challenges, and I think I've done enough challenges now. I want to formalize the process of launching them and actually honing in on how I can help other people face their challenges and learn the process in a better, faster, easier, more efficient, more effective way, so that whenever a challenge pops up in their life, they automatically know how to handle it and how to deal with it. And it doesn't become a roadblock for them. It just becomes a little stepping stone that they use to move higher and higher and higher in their life, moving toward whatever it is that they want. All right, that's all I got today. If I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Have an absolutely amazing day. Bye. Pajama Grandma out.